Hello and welcome to Get Celebritized. I'm your host, Aurea McGarry, and I am very privileged and proud to be bringing you a dear friend of mine that I cannot wait for you to meet. Because if you're a fan of my show, you know that my premise and my mantra for Get Celebritized is helping people, especially entrepreneurs, learn how to earn more so they can live more, so they can give back more. And that is exactly the entire premise of this beautiful woman I'm about to introduce you to, who I've had the privilege and honor of knowing, gosh, over 10 years now. Her name is Renee Knorr, and she is not only a global ambassador for Africa, she's an international model and a mother. Wait, you can meet her daughter. We'll have her daughter on sometime soon. She is magnificent in her own right. Renee Knorr is also a dream maker, and she's president and founder of Global Women Wealth Warriors, which is really why I'm bringing her on here today, because we're going to talk about what Global Women Wealth Warriors is, how this whole community of impactful women impact the world. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring her on up. Let's hear it for Renee Knorr.
Woo! Hello,
Renee,
hello. Hey, gorgeous. How are you doing?
I am great. And this is not your first time on my show, Get Celebritized. You are a repeat over here because you're that good and you're making that much a difference in the world. I had to have you back. Had to give my audience you again.
Well,
So
it's an
welcome.
honor to be here with you, Aurea. You know how much I love you, support you, and I'm just grateful to be a part of, this movement that you're doing. And congratulations. Congratulations to you.
Oh, thank you so much. I know you're congratulating me. I'm in the new Limelight Network. I put it up here. I'm very excited that part of my little girl dream is expanding into a network of great edutainment to give other people the platform they so deserve. So I'm excited about that. And I'm very excited about Global Women Wealth Warriors. So let's get right into it, Renee. You are amazing. You literally travel the globe. If you're following Renee Knorr, she's sometimes in Dubai, and she just doesn't go to Dubai. She goes in style in Dubai, and she's sand surfing. She's in all these beautiful, beautiful places. You do everything in style. And then the next thing you know, you're in Africa, then you're in Hollywood, you're in New York, you are everywhere. So tell us, what is your purpose of doing all this? Because you're very much a philanthropist, Renee.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for the opportunity as well, Aurea. Not only is it important for me to live my life out loud boldly, I also encourage others to do it as well. Coming from New Orleans, Louisiana, I'll share this with you, Aurea. My mother never traveled in an airplane before. I never traveled in an airplane with her either. And it wasn't until we lost our mother I realized I started to really spread my wings and to get out of my comfort zone as well. And even when I worked for corporate America, every 3 months I had to travel to just learn myself on how other people thrive, as well as just really expanding that umbrella for building cultural. So not only do I love being able to now go to these different parts of the world, but I go to these parts of the world with purpose, but not only persistency, but also I go there because of my understanding of how we need each other, how we truly need each other. You see, just because we're ladies here in the United States, there's ladies in Africa that need to hear our voices. There's ladies over there in Dubai, even in Saudi Arabia. And I'm so honored to be able to have the opportunity to not only travel with the Global Women Wealth Warriors, but to also, wherever I go, I spread hopes and I also help people to find their dreams as well. So I'm grateful to be in this space of being able to do just what I love doing.
You really do, Renee. You really do. And I'm going to ask you kind of a twofold question. Okay, we want to spread our voices around the world. Well, we can do that now with all these audio apps like Clubhouse or whatever. So, what is some key differentiators that make when you actually go in person to a different country and you spread your wings? But on that note as well, tell us a little bit about what actually Wealth. I'll spit that out. Global Women Wealth Warriors is in a nutshell.
And to make it easier for you, GW3.
GW3, I love it. 3 W's, GW3.club. I got it.
Absolutely. Well, the epiphany came about at 3 o'clock in the morning, in naming Global Women Wealth Warriors. I knew we were at war. We're at war with less of education. We're at war. We're just dealing with life in general. And one of the things I wanted to always do is to elevate women's voices, to give them platforms, to give them stages, and most importantly, to show them that they do matter right
Amen.
across the world. So, with the name, the Global Women Wealth Warriors, not only have I been able to use my life experiences by traveling the world as an international model, also by losing over 75 pounds, in addition to that, being able to be a faith driven thought leader, we fuel not only fashion, alongside with fitness, finance. I come from a banking industry for more than 14 plus years.
Is there
So
anything you don't do, Renee? I'm just saying.
I don't like cleaning. I do
Fitness,
not like cleaning.
fitness, finance, modeling, all the things, all
Yeah,
parts of your brain work. I love it.
that's right. Yes. And that helps others too to find their way. Ultimately, I would say this. I travel because why? Because we can. When
Yeah.
we realize that the universe is our playground, we have to stop just holding on to what's right in front of us and be able to explore. And with that give us the ability to be able to make connections right across the globe. So much love the Clubhouse. The Clubhouse have truly been a great conduit for
Mhm.
greater relationships. But I say this also, you just have to get out of your comfort zone and think big.
You really do. So, what's a takeaway when you go and you get on a plane, you travel somewhere? What is the difference between doing that in person versus just being on an audio app or having a podcast or show? And do you meet people over there, or do you strategically plan that and do philanthropy when you're over there? Tell me a little bit more about these journeys you take, its purpose, and some of its key benefits.
Absolutely. Well, initially, for me traveling to these different places, I'm a speaker, I'm a global speaker. So I don't just go just because, I'm invited to go and speak. As a matter of fact, I did manifest going over to Africa right on the Clubhouse app. And lo and behold, by the time January, I said, I'm going to Africa in December. Didn't know
Claim
where,
it.
didn't know how, but by the time June rolled around, I remember Emma invited me to Zanzibar, Tanzania, to not only to come over to be a global speaker, but to also be a keynote speaker in Africa. And then I was invited 3 months later to help to produce a fashion show. And of course, in that time, I invited 5 other speakers with us. So whenever I do and whenever I go to these different places, chances are it's because I'm speaking. I left from Dubai, my last time going to Dubai. Not only is Dubai one of my annual trips, but this year, last year I had the opportunity of becoming a global speaker right there in Dubai and just talking about not only just the diversity, but also showing how we can build stronger communities, wherever we may be. A lot of people think that Africa is so far away. And if you haven't traveled to Africa, it really is. Now, once you get that opportunity of traveling to Africa, you realize it's not that large. It's not that far away. Because literally, when you can get on a plane and be over there in hardly less than 14, I would say 17 hours, it's just a gift from God to
Yeah.
be able to bring us closer together. And, it used to be one of these things, Aurea. I used to think that Africa was like, oh my God, I'll never get a chance to go to Africa because it's just that far away. But once I had the privilege of going to Africa, and I say that, I look at it as an honor as well as a privilege to be able to connect with those phenomenal people over there in Africa. I was like, what's next?
I love that.
What's next?
I love that you combine a work and play because why not? I mean, you get a great tax write off and you're able to go with purpose. I love traveling with purpose versus just going on vacation. I know we need to just go on vacation too, but I tend to have more fun when I'm going on purpose. I'm expected there. I get to get some work done on stages, inspire, and then combine it with traveling and sightseeing. But I just like that as well. I love when there's a purpose. A
Yes.
lot of people like Jarek Robbins, Tony Robbins' son, would always tell us everywhere they go to visit, to vacation, whatever, they leave it better than they left it. They will, help paint an orphanage while they're there, help build a school, just do something, which is really a day adventure. It's not like they're there for 6 months. Everybody, if you want to make it a little bit more fun, a little bit more, okay, well, if I'm going to do this, it can really make it purposeful. There's so many things you can do in a day to make your footprint there and make it even better if that's the type of person you are. And I know you're definitely that type of person. Another thing I noticed with you, Renee, is again, just watching on social media, not even just knowing you as a friend and a dear friend here. We live in the same area here in Georgia, Atlanta. Watching your social media, you're always inviting a tribe of people to go with you. You're like, I'm going to Dubai. Who wants to come with me? And most people would say, oh, yeah, everybody just says it like, oh, let's do lunch. You mean it. Before you know it, I'm watching you and 15 women getting on a plane, waving, having a good old time. Like, wait a minute. She was serious for us to come with her? Tell us a little bit about how you coordinate these groups of amazing women going with you.
Absolutely. When I just want to piggyback off of the first message in regard to Africa, the second trip, I realized the award was me to go over to Africa, but the reward was for me to pour into the village of over 20 phenomenal women. And with that village, we were able to go back in March to not only help to transform their lives, we took the ladies out of poverty and we brought them into a 5-star hotel. We provided them with the fashion, so they too were a part of the fashion show, and then we were able to 12x their businesses, guys. We gave a meaning to their names because now the people in not only in Africa but also in America, because thanks for the Breakfast with Champions, they helped me to do a fundraiser to make a difference in those women's lives.
I love that.
Also talk about that. The second phase of what you just asked in regard to, why do we do what we do? I think it's not only because of the heart, but everything that we do. I'm just like that Oprah Winfrey. If we chase after money, guess what? You're going to be chasing your tail for the rest of your life. When you focus on making a significant difference in the lives of others, you'll always be fulfilled. And not only will you always be fulfilled, you'll keep that cup running over. And I look at that just being a part of my life, really. I open up the doors. Even when I get the opportunity of having the platform, I always invite others to share the stage, because one thing Renee is not, and that's selfish. I speak on the F factors to success. And even right there in New York City, I had the opportunity of inviting 6 other speakers to join me to speak on my subject matter, the F factors to success. You see, we have to extend these opportunities to those who may not have those voices, who may be in search of something that they are in desire of also. And I think that's the key. When you're in position to extend the doors and to give opportunities to others, why don't we do it? And that's some of the things I'm grateful that I'm able to do, because most times people don't give me an opportunity. If you have a stage by yourself, usually they just want to be there by themselves. See, I don't mind sharing the stage because I know the value I'm going to always bring.
Absolutely. It's so much more fun in a crowd. And I think women were inherited like that because, we get up from the dinner table at a restaurant with a crowd of people and we announce, I'm going to the ladies' room. Anybody want to come with me? Or who wants to come with me? It's a given. I'll go. Yeah, we all go together. Guys don't do that. We go to the restaurant, to the bathroom in tribes of groups. We want to have camaraderie. We want to talk. We want to socialize and be with each other, even when we're going to the restroom. Guys don't get it. So why wouldn't we? Hey, I'm going to be on the stage looking for more speakers. Come with me. Let's talk about this topic together. And that is so why your Global Women Wealth Warriors is so perfect for you, because you are building a warrior group of women that we're all going to make a difference, because we can't do it alone. It takes a village and a tribe to build all sorts of businesses and women and make differences, create movements, make change in whatever you want, and to feed the poor and the hungry and help others, to help a continent like you're doing. Can't do this alone. Who do we think we are? Even Jesus brought along people and disciples and led groups of people to fulfill all that he wanted to do, and still doing it to this day. So who are we to just say, I've got this, I don't need help, I'm going to go to the bathroom alone? No, we all need help. So what is next? What's happening next with this? I know you never stop. And if women are listening, they want to tap into you. I've got your website up here, but tell us a little bit more about what's coming up.
Well, I'll say this, because one of the things with women, and I hope you guys hear my voice very well, we still need rest. We still need to pour into us with a little bit more self-love, self-care. The Global Women Wealth Warriors, we also incorporated our retreat. It was the Breathe Retreat. And not only was it something that was, needed, it literally gave us the opportunity to just do that. Inhale and exhale.
And I'm really sorry. I'm just finding out about that now, and it's already happened. So I'm on the list for the next time.
You're on the list for the next time. Absolutely, you are. You know, the greatest gift for what we can do in our season and in our time is just to keep on building stronger relationships, keep on finding new relationships as well, because sometimes we get so stuck with the same ones until we don't even give ourselves the opportunity to see who else is out there. And I love traveling to new destinations, you know, Salt Lake City, Salt Lake City, Utah. Salt Lake Utah was truly one of those new destinations. Now, I've been to Salt Lake City before. I've actually traveled there, and it's been almost 24 years since I had last been there. And to have this as one of our destinations, to just being able to breathe, to bring women together, what an incredible movement. You know, in the 1900s, Aurea, in New York City, there was 12 phenomenal women that literally broke barriers down to bring ladies together for lunch, just for lunch. You know, for so many years, women have had to work with their husbands or show up with their husbands. So for these 12 ladies right there in New York City at Delmonico's restaurant, they came in and they decided that they were going to do something different. They became the trailblazers of what it even meant for women, like what you were just saying, getting together to just break bread, to just be saluting each other. And we took that to heart. So that's what we were able to do right in Salt Lake City, Utah. Myself, Lolita Anderson, alongside with Janet Alvarado from Las Vegas, we all came together. However, we met some phenomenal women right there in Utah. And I remember the one that was 85 years young. They were sitting at the best table in the house, Miss Aurea. And literally, I walked up to them and I said, oh my goodness, I just want to introduce myself because you guys are like at the best seat in the house. You know what she said? We may be at the best seat in the house, but we want to be over there with you all.
Aww.
That was so perfect. I mean, God knew exactly what we needed. And that breathe retreat, 3 days, it was 3 days.
I love it.
To just relax, appreciate each other, and just do that. We were able to be in the beat. You know, that's what that stands for, being in the now. And a lot of us are just not in the now. We were able to receive. Most ladies don't know how to receive.
Oh, that's for sure. We can't receive a compliment. Oh, this whole thing is better for $1. God, stop. Take a compliment. I'm the worst. I know.
Yes.
It's so hard.
Also, just being able to appreciate each other. That's what the A stands for. In addition to that, you know, I always look at the fact of what we have right now. You know, the H is about healing. We needed to heal, Aurea. We needed to heal. And just to make sure we go through that whole transformation while we're constantly expanding as well as evolving. So I'm so grateful. And truly, the next Breathe Retreat, you'll be with us.
You know I will. Do you do it like once a year?
We did. Honestly, this was one that we snuck in because we needed it. So we're looking to do the next one. Are you ready for this? In Kenya, Africa.
Oh my. I have always wanted to go on a safari. I'm the biggest animal lover.
Yes. We're going to be doing that one in Kenya, Africa.
Oh, you don't realize that's been my little goal dream. I've long forgotten about. I used to have Kenya on my goal poster back when I was little. I want to go there because that's where I saw Wild Kingdom and all the animals, and I wanted to do a safari. And I've long forgot about that until you just said that word, Kenya.
Well, you know, Sir Richard Branson has one of the most beautiful properties there in the safari, and that's one of the places that we're looking at. And in addition to that, Naomi Campbell, her boyfriend, owns the property, the Billionaires Club. So here we come.
Oh my, and you do travel. Baby, I'm not kidding. If everybody's watching, listening, Renee travels in style. This isn't just something we're going to be looking over there saying, wow, look at them over there. She walks in, she combines with them. We'll be breaking bread with everybody. You really do travel in style. And I always said, if I go to another country, another continent, something like that, I want to go with people that, I want to go in a group. I don't want to go by myself. I feel like I would get lost because I'm not a big world traveler. I've been to Canada and I've been to the Caribbean, but I have never been over the pond. So I want to go on purpose. I want to go and make a difference. I want to go and, really, embrace it and not just try to, by the time I get there, I come back, oh, I didn't know all that was there, and really not have that fulfilling experience. And I think that's what retreats and going together with purpose. So I had some people go on mission trips and things. They go in a group to really experience, an experience instead of just a trip or vacation, which is fine too, but I like to go on purpose. So this is really exciting. I want everybody to chime into you, follow you on social media, your website's up, but you've done something else really special, Renee. All right, everybody listen up and lean in. Renee not only does this and builds this wonderful camaraderie with women and making her impression and footprint to reach back and help women and reach forward and reach side to side. She reaches above to the side and back. There's always women in different areas of lives when we meet them. Some are ahead of us, some are beside us, some need to be pulled up. And that's what it's all about, being very aware of the women around us and how can we help or how can they help us. But there's somebody very special in your life. As a mother, you have trained up a child in the way that she should go, and she is a phenomenal, talented woman, not only gorgeous on the outside as she should be. You guys look like sisters. She is brilliant. She is talented. She's an artist. She's just one of those wow women. Talk to us about how you built this relationship with your daughter and how you all work together.
Oh, you're so sweet. Oh
I
my
mean
goodness.
it.
You got me over here smiling big time. I'm so grateful to you, Aurea, and then also to your beautiful daughters as well, who I truly love them. Just know that we have to do something with the girls together, all right?
We do. We do. Our girls are great. So tell us a little bit about it.
Well, being a mother as well, traveling was just something that once I got a taste of it, I couldn't let it go. And I traveled with Ebony Fashion Fair right out of Chicago, Illinois. And with that, after I finished with the tour, I wound up having my beautiful daughter, right? They asked me to return back on tour. And lo and behold, it was everything about timing. And I say that, Aurea, everything is just about that, being timed in. After I had Janae, here's now Janae, fast forward, I still continued on with modeling alongside working with, as a model coach with some of the girls who would travel back and forth to Africa. And at the age of 5, I remember my daughter said, Mom, next time you go to next time you go to New York City, I want to come with you. And lo and behold, made that happen. My daughter, myself, and then I had a couple of models with us. We literally was right there on Kimora Lee Simmons' talk show. As we were walking down the street, they found us, and lo and behold, their places on Kimora Lee Simmons' talk show. But I'll say this too, because my daughter was exposed to so much, she saw her mother on a daily basis, not only working with models or definitely coordinating new projects and things of that nature, that became a part of her DNA. Her father is truly a musician, so not only she's very talented, her grandfather's an artist. So Janae's an artist. She's a model as well as an MVP basketball star. She's graduated from college now. And currently right now, my daughter and I are getting ready to launch our first book together, Soar. She's done
Awesome.
all of the illustration to the book, and of
She did.
course with my words. So it's going to be a wonderful collaboration. It's coming out for Mother's Day. That's right, it's coming out for Mother's Day. Thanks to Mr. Michael D. Butler. His publishing firm is going to be working with us for that. But you know what I say also, Janae has been a really good student. I'm going to say this, guys, because not all of our kids always follow how we want them to follow us, right? I'm just saying it for the parents out there. I'm so grateful that not only has she been obedient, now she's gonna find her own way. Mom and we've definitely had to clash a couple of times,
Only a couple?
Well, if you really want to know, that's to be continued. Okay? We clashed it. Oh my goodness. But you know what I realized? I had to let go, because being an alpha woman and realizing my daughter is also an alpha daughter. Oh my goodness. But I realized also she has to make some of her mistakes, and that's going to be honest, right? We just have to keep guiding them in the right direction. Janae now have traveled the globe. When she said, Mom, you went to London without me? I said, so after she finished up with high school, we went to London. And then I had to do another trip. And she's like, Mom, I want to go out of the country as well. So we went on a 7-day cruise. And, one trip right after the other. And as it stands right now, guess what, Aurea? She already knows she's going to be living outside the country. She's looking forward to traveling to Australia in July, as well as, she has some Fiji, some of these Bora Bora. I'm like, wait, hold on. Can I get in your backpack
Now, of
now?
course,
I'm
it's table
traveling with
sure.
you.
Well,
So we
Renee,
switched it up.
the kids, they do what we do, not what we say. So whether she followed in your footsteps or not, they follow in our footsteps, but in their own way. Like, let's say she didn't want to be a model or an artist. She didn't have it. She had completely different, or she could have been a mathematician, and she still would have had all those great traits that you have as the leader. And they do it in their own way, whatever their gifts and talents are. So she just happens to also have that side, that creative side as well. But I know people watching and listening might say, well, my kid's completely opposite of me. That's great. They're still going to get all those values and those experiences that you allow them to have, and they're going to be like you, whether it's a hard worker. It doesn't matter what they're hardworking at. They're going to have integrity. They're going to make right decisions. And of course, they're teenagers. They're going to make some mistakes, of course, but they start really, they're always watching us. They're watching us from, they're bored, mom working at home or doing what she does or showing up on time or whatever that is that we do. We have to remember they're watching us, and they'll take those things that they've learned and put it into their world, whatever their world looks like.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Not only they're watching us, they're listening. They
Yeah,
are
they
always
are.
listening. And just because you think that they're young, that's the time that they tune in even more so. Their brains are like sponges. So you have to really make sure you're pouring in the right ingredients in your kids from the very early age. We don't really watch television. And interesting enough, even when she was younger, she went from Montessori school. As when she was 5 years of age, I put her right there to play golf. At the age of 11, she was over there at Club Med on a golf scholarship. She was there with the Burberry kids alongside the Prada grandkids, learning how to play golf. So I made sure she had exposure, she had experiences, and most importantly, new relationships.
Mhm.
Even when it came down to us to connect with the Breakfast with Champions, which was almost 2 years ago, guess what? I made sure Janae was right there with me. And she said, but Mom, I
I
don't know
remember
any
that.
of those people. I said, it's not about that you know them. It's about building your network and relationships as well. And we, as parents, we have to show our youth, we have to show our children how to become, not only business leaders, right?
Right.
Influencers, but also
Absolutely.
being able to build their own legacy as well.
Absolutely. And that's why you know both of my daughters, because throughout the years we've known each other, both my adult daughter and my teenage daughter have come to events with me where you are, because I want them to meet women like you, strong women like you, who is also surrounded by other strong women like you. And it's not about them. You think they're yawning, but they're listening. They're loving, and they always have loved knowing you and meeting you. And they'll take pieces, no matter what their age range was, they take pieces away at the right appropriate level that they're at. And it's been influential to both of them, what they do, just by me having them come to the Emmy Awards or come to events, watching me on a TEDx stage, meeting people like you. Just bring them along. They'll absorb what they're supposed to absorb from it. We don't have to say, now, I want you to learn this, or I want you to meet this person. Just let it happen. Let them learn and be by osmosis. And it's so wonderful to watch how God just gives them the right sprinkles that they need of whatever it is. So bring them along. And I love doing that as well, bringing them along with that. So I'm going to ask you a question now. I don't know if it's backtrack, but I want to dive in just a little bit deeper.
Okay.
There's some people I know we're all coming out of this pandemic. So many women have had to pivot. There's so many people in general. There's so many kids out there that have been derailed in their education. People that have lost jobs pivoted. Some are pivoting really well. It's the best thing that ever happened to their career. Others are still maybe floundering, and they're wondering, I love what you're saying, Renee. I'm a woman. I want to be empowered. You're traveling. This is what I want for my life. But and there's always that but, that maybe they don't have the resources. They don't have the availability, thinking, could I ever? How do you do that? Can you give just some 101 tips that if this is a goal and thing, I want to up level wherever they are to have more of a life like this, even if it means they just travel to the next state over, but they start doing bigger things. Give us some advice, give them some hope to, okay, here's what you can do. You may not be able to go to Africa, Dubai this year, but here's what happened when I first started. Here's some things you can do to start the ball rolling in an upward, forward motion.
Absolutely. And thank you for the opportunity of even, to share this information. You know, in all actuality, everything starts from within us. We have to have the right mindset, Aurea, even when it comes down to determining what it is that we literally have to offer to others. You know, I had to take the time to do some personal development. I had to do some personal growth also, and I had to work on myself before I even realized that I could even explore to other parts of the globe. It wasn't something that I was able to just jump right on in. No, I had to work on myself. And I'll say this for those who may listen, who may be listening. You know, not only is it important for you to give yourself those I am affirmations. We talked about that today, guys. Those really do work. And the reason why, you have to constantly and consistently keep reminding yourself of certain things, of what it is that you can do. And I will say this, it's not about where you come from. It's not about your family. It's not even about the job that you're working on right now. If you have the gut instinct of wanting to do something different and wanting to really see the world for what it is, you're going to have to do the work, and you're going to have to manifest over it. In addition to that, guys, what I realized, you're going to have to put a plan of action of how you're going to be able to get to where you're going. 2018. 2018, I knew I was going to be going to Dubai. I already put it on my documentation. 2020, I would be in Dubai in January. And lo and behold, it took me, 2 years for me to make that manifest come true. But what did I have to do? I had to constantly do what? I had to go to work on myself. A lot of people, especially our younger generation, it's not about instant gratification. It's about putting the work behind what it is that you want. And also surrounding yourselves around the right proximity of people that have what you desire.
Yeah.
You know, I made sure I placed myself within a group of people that had what I desired, that had what I wanted. And then what did I do? I went right back to work on myself. Not only did I keep on working on myself, I started reading bigger books. That's right. You know, I started reading more books, from going from reading a book a month to reading 4 books a month, and then to having our own book club. You know, within the Global Women Wealth Warriors, we are on, you know, reading 3 books a month right now, guys.
Wow.
So I had to instill certain key ingredients in order for me to be able to reach the success that I desired, in order for me to connect with the right people. In addition to that, in order for me to achieve the success I wanted, I had to do some things, put it into writing. I had to speak about it over and over again. In addition to that, I had to change my environment, and I just turned off the television. I turned off the television, and I got so in tune to writing what it is that I want. You know, back in the day, Aurea, when I was growing up, Mom didn't, you know, she would always say, write in your journal. Don't forget to write in your journal. And I didn't realize what she meant by writing in a journal. Back then, we had diaries, right? Little
Yes,
girls
I remember.
diaries, okay? So we had to write in our diary every day. But what Mom was really working on us to have better writing skills, to literally to start honing in on also imaginations. As we would read, I was like already a speaker at the age of 10, because my mom was Jehovah's Witness, and didn't even realize that here I am presenting in front of a congregation at the age of 10 that would help me to be the speaker that I am today. You know, so all of those ingredients, it's not just by coincidence. It's about taking the time to put into also time in yourself, time into your relationships, time into the relationship that you have with God, and put all of those right ingredients together. Guys, you can have what you want. You literally can, but you really have to put it in place of what it is that you want, and put it in a time order as well. Maybe you can get it all at one time. Notice what I said, 2 years before I went to Dubai. And then after that, I put myself on another time schedule. I knew I was going to go to Africa. It was just a matter of time. It was just a matter of time, but I don't take anything for granted. And that's something that every day I have gratitude for where I am in my life.
You said some really good points. I hope that I really want to just kind of reiterate, because they're really, really good. All of that was spot on. It's exactly what we just can't hop on a plane to Africa tomorrow. Let's just go. Well, there's planning, there's believing in it, there's putting your goal poster. You said 2 really cool things though that I really just jumped out at me. One, you changed your environment. You do become like the 5 people or the 20 people you hang around with. If everybody in your social economics are broke or struggling, whatever, chances are you are too. But if you reach up and out of that limelight, you can also bring those people up with you that want to come. So you could be the pioneer. So you got to change your environment, which is great. I know you and I, we jumped on Clubhouse back in the pandemic. Instead of just sitting home and wallowing in being alone because everything was shut down, we found a way to get in with people and to join the right groups, the clubs and the big thinkers. We could have wallowed around and complaining about everything. Vaccines, no vaccines, masks, no masks. We could have stayed in those groups, but we didn't. We branched out, like with the Breakfast with Champions and your Global Wealth Women Warriors. And we like, who else wants to think big? Who wants to help get out of this? Who wants to help each other? And it's been a life changer. And another thing you said, Oprah just said, I'm sure she said a while ago, but I just happened to see this in my Instagram feed like last week. And it was like, oh, they asked her, Oprah, what makes a difference in people that succeed and get to their goal? And you know what she said? She goes, you have to know what you want and where you want to go to. Otherwise, she goes, the average person has no idea what their end goal is, where they want to go. They're scrambling around, just, figuring things out and not even knowing what to wish for or to work for. No, if you want to go to Africa, you want to go where in Africa? Africa's a big continent. If you want to go to Dubai, if you want to go to Europe, again, something big, where? Paris, great. Why? Good. How much will it cost? What plane will you take? Who will go with you? Then start getting into the circles of people that dream big with you, that get into a club that reads, like you said. Start reading about, Emily in Paris. Then you're going to find people who love Paris. Who knows? Take a girls trip. But you can't if you just sit back and you don't know where you want to go. And if you don't know where you want to go, then that's first step. Okay, what can we do to find what your dream is if you've lost your dream? What do you say, Renee?
What do you want to do? If you lost your dream, it's okay to hit the reset button. Even myself, I share with you guys, I was in a really bad car accident. And at the point in my life right there, Aurea, remember the Grand Hyatt, that used to be Hotel Nico. I was so excited. I was getting ready to model for Cachet. This was going to be one of my big fashion shows. And guys, lo and behold, I was in a car accident. I literally was driving on the right side of the road. However, the other two people who was on the wrong side of the road, they would have hit me dead on if I wouldn't have swerved. I did 360. I ran into a tree. It landed me in a hospital for 5 days. I wasn't able to walk almost 8 months with no way of looking forward to getting into a pair of heels at all. So not only did I have to hit the reset button, but you know what I had to do? I had to sharpen my mindset. I had to keep feeding my mindset with the right things. Now, trust and believe this, I went through a lot of self-doubt. I lost my confidence. I even lost my wings, guys. I lost my wings.
You didn't lose them. They're just bent a little bit. You never lose your
just
wings.
a little bit. But no, they really were lost. They were lost. Walk around this Darth Vader boot. I could not walk in heels for 8 months. That's a long time, especially if you're used to hitting the runway every day.
Especially with the shoes you have in your closet. That was torture. You got some shoes.
Oh, boy. But not only did I have to, again, recommit myself to me, I had to pull in those I am affirmations. I am enough. I am child of God. I am capable. I am proud of myself. I had to remind myself who I was. And sometimes we need that reminder. And I'll say this also, guys, when you have the right accountability partners, because even when I got the phone call from my girlfriend, I want you to submit your pictures over to Ebony. I'm like, they're not going to want me. I felt as if I was damaged, guys. I really felt as if I was damaged. She said, will you get out of your head and start sending those pictures? And I need you to send them today. And I mean, Roz Connor, thank you. Thank you for being the true friend back then, for seeing something in me. And that's something that I would say, guys, sometimes we have to wake up the inner giant in others, because sometimes people are sleeping on their dreams, sleeping on their thoughts, as well as sleeping on their gifts. So I feel as if that's one of the reasons why we started with the Global Women Wealth Warriors. It's an organization that's consistent. It's an organization that's intentional. And most importantly, we are about getting results. We want to see you win. We want to see more women on stages, and we create stages for women. As it stands right now, we have so many phenomenal things that's getting ready to take place for not only the organization, but also the organization's younger people as well, because we always work with the kids, we work with our youth, we work with the future, because without them, guys, we wouldn't even be here. That's why I love working with my daughter. My daughter right now is not only my pride and joy. My daughter and I, we work together. You know, as it stands right now, Janae is working alongside. I make sure she's around the right group of people who are going places. She works with Lisa Nicole Cloud. She also works with, high school students. You know, she's always supporting them. She's a coach as a high school
I
student,
love that.
basketball. So she's living in her passion. And at
Good
the
for
same
her.
token, she's pursuing her purpose while she is identifying her leadership skills as well. And so I'm keeping her around the right people, such as yourself, Aurea, alongside with Miss Jackie Underwood, as well as Lolita Anderson, Malika Starr. She's around bosses who know how to not only boss up, but also who knows how to give. We got to show our kids how to give more. Because, see, I'll give you my shirt off my back. I'll give you my stilettos. I will give to you if you're going to show me that you can do just right with it. Because that's what it's about, too, guys. You know, we want to see us win, but we just have to make sure we have the right resources and the tools and the relationships in order for us to win.
That relationship is important. And you said there's something that again jumped out at me when you said after that car accident, it gave me chills because we've all been through something that could derail us. And you said you needed to recommit yourself to yourself. That was huge. You need to recommit yourself to yourself. And then you had that what I call a balcony friend, that person that sits in the balcony that pulls you up. And when you start going further and further down to the basement, she says, oh no, not on my watch. It's that business best friend that says, hey, I've got my shovel. What do you need? You got a dead body in the trunk. Don't care who it is. Don't care how you got it there. I'm there for you. And good for her. And we all need to have that. And if you don't have those balcony friends and that right, like you said before, Renee, that right community, getting in the right spaces with the people that are those balcony people, then it's so easy to fall away. It's so easy to get into despair if there's nobody around you to pull you up. But that's by choice. You all have a choice, listening to my voice and Renee's voice, watching us, to say, wow, I don't have that community. I need to put myself into that community. I need to be a part of it to serve and have others there to serve, because all of us need each other. We absolutely do. I don't believe there's any one woman show, one man show, one overnight success. None of that is true. It's all a journey. And the most successful people in whatever it is, ministry, nonprofit, business, because they surrounded themselves with people that were doing it, and they hung on until they were the ones when other people are hanging on to them. So you have been so amazing, Renee. I want you to have the last words on, all right, you got the women, and I'm sure a few great men are listening too, that are saying, I really want to make this difference. I want to start changing my environment. I want to make a bigger impact. Enough with the past, enough with mediocrity. It's time to be excellence. You've recharged me. This is it. And whether they want to get in touch with you or just somebody in their community, what is your words on, okay, it's time to take actions? Give us the last couple of words from your heart that you'd like to say to men and women and our youth, our next generation that's wondering, am I too young to start now? We already know they're not.
Absolutely. It's not about age. Success has nothing to do with it at all about an age. It's about the heart. It's about the heart and the soul of what you're putting out. I'll share with you, I had the opportunity of meeting a beautiful young lady in Zanzibar, Tanzania, 11 years of age, Miss Sharon Ringo. And Miss Sharon Ringo, as it stands right now, guys, she's 12 years of age. She actually owns her own nonprofit organization. She heads up our board. And not only that, guys, she already put in her mindset that she's going to plant 2 million trees. And by the grace of God, she's already done 40,000 already. I'm getting ready to become an ambassador of her organization.
Oh my gosh.
I had the opportunity of bringing her right there at the Breakfast with Champions. And I just want you guys to understand, it doesn't matter what age you are, whether you're 5, whether you're 85, if you have the grit as well as the guts to go and be that game changer that the world needs, nothing's going to stop you. Nothing will stop you from taking on the opportunity of being able to be used as the vessel that God needs us to be. You see, I am so grateful that God uses me every single morning. Every day we wake up, we have our prayer room from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And to be honest with you, we wind up going overboard because it gets, as Dr. Lolita Walker would say, gets so juicy. You know? Oh my goodness. But you know what? I love giving life. I love giving life. Many of us are existing, and I'm going to use this because this is one of my favorite movies, The Matrix. A lot of us are walking around not even realizing that you are alive. You got to get alive, guys. And if you don't get alive, you stay still, guess what? 2 or 3 years from today, you're going to still be in the same situation. Change your environment, change your friends, and do yourself a favor also. Sometimes you need to change your phone number if you need to. All right, I'm not keeping it real. But I say all that to say this, guys. We need you. We need each and every last one of you guys living in your gifts. You see, I can't do what everyone else does, and I don't want to. I really don't. Trust and believe. Aurea have her hands full. I have my hands full. We like to stay in the lane that we're in. Find your way. Find that lane. Even like Tyler Perry would say, find that one thing. First, focus on the one thing. Once you get that one thing right, then you start branching off from there. I see too many people jumping from, okay, aren't you in this group today? Oh, you're in this group over here. You're jumping all over the place and you have nothing that's for yourself. So all you're doing is constantly pulling away from what is so important to you. And unfortunately, many people don't know their identity. And if you don't know your identity, you're going to be around, as you heard Aurea earlier, just floating around, just like wandering around. I mean, I think I should go over here. I think I should go over there. Guys, let's take the time to breathe. Let's take the time to breathe. And when you take the time to breathe, that means you get closer to Almighty God. You get closer to yourself. And most importantly, you start really thinking through things as opposed to just responding and reacting. You see, you have to take ownership of you. No one else can do your I am affirmations better than you can. So with those I am affirmations, make sure that you put so much specific details to those I am affirmations that not only they're going to want to inspire you each and every day, you will change and become a better person every day. Better than you were yesterday. And I hope that can bring some energy to whomever the age may be, because again, it's not about the age, it's about the heart and the soul of who you are.
Amen. Amen. Yes. Renee, you have been amazing. What a great guest. You have just reignited so many. I just know that right off the bat. Always a pleasure, always an inspiration. You are moving and grooving and making a difference. You're everything that this show is all about, helping people and women and entrepreneurs earn more so they can live more, live abundantly, live outside the box so they can give more. You're just the epitome of all of that. And this isn't the first time you've been on my show, won't be the last time. And we've got to get your daughter on here as well. Yeah. I want to catch up with her. Thank you so much for being here. You're an inspiration. And retreat, breathe, safari. Yeah. Let's do this. I'm going out of my comfort zone and going over the pond. So thank you, Renee, so much.
You're absolutely so welcome. Thank you for having me again, Aurea. And I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you.
I love you. All right. Well, that's it for today with Get Celebritized. I hope you enjoyed the show. Until next time, I hope we've inspired you to earn more, live more, and give back more. The world needs you to show up. So until next time, bye for now. Thank you again, Renee.
Bye.